So it's Saturday, just like any other Saturday. My dog hit my phone. He hit my phone like 8, 9 o'clock. 8 or 9 o'clock. It's early in the morning. He like, bro, what you want? Nothing. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. He like, all right, let's go hoop. Now my thing with it is Daryl. Daryl was the hooper. We gotta be honest about it. We just gotta be honest about these things, bro. Some things you just ain't good at. I like baseball and football. I excelled in those sports. Those were the sports that I preferred. But basketball, I was athletic. I was athletic. I mean, enough to not turn it over, but still get a couple points. All right, fine, cool, let's go. So he scooped me. He scooped me, and the other thing was, and it was like a goddamn. You put your hand in the bag, and you don't know. You just don't know. You might be out there. Somebody might be 40, 18, and goddamn 22. The 40-year-old jumper. Y'all know how I be. If you hoop, if you really hoop, bro, if you really hoop and you go blacktop, you don't know who gonna be on the blacktop. You don't know who on the blacktop. So we blacktop every Saturday morning, early morning. We get there, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go off this game, shorty. I'm gonna go off this game. Look, you can tell. You can tell I ain't no hooper. I ain't no hooper, dog. So I'm like, all right, cool, bet. I'm gonna go off this game. I'm gonna have a game. Boom. Tip off. I always had to run a point guard. Now remember, everybody can't be a point guard. I'm good at facilitating. Boom, boom, boom. Swing it to my man. You got to swing it to your man. He get and his thing with it, first time he touched it, he pulling it. I don't care where. It was one time, bro, I never forget. We was hooping. We was indoor. It was a gym. I wasn't even supposed to. I was hooping in some shell heads. Remember that? The shell heads gonna come into play. Remember that? I'm hooping in some shell heads, some shorts, and a polo in the league. We in the league with it, and I'm hooping. Long story short, we get the tip off. They pass it to me. I swing it to Daryl. First thing I'm talking about before. This is before Steph. This is before Steph, bro. I'm talking about you logo, pulling it. I'm like, get the he'll make it. Sometimes he'll make it. A lot of the times he'll make it. Sometimes he'll miss it. But I tell you one thing, dog. He pulling it, pulling it. Long story short, man, my dog pull it. Game on. Game on. Boom. We get the hooping. I think I ended up. I always had, respectable stats. Blacktop game to 11, probably about no good defense. You gotta come playing good defense. If you ain't really, into the basketball like that, you can play good, consistent on ball defense. You a good on ball defender. Might cause 2 turnovers, 1 steal. You made 2 layups, but you really blew one. You missed the jumper, but you made a jumper or something like that. All right, you had about 2, 3 points. Boom. Man, Dizzle, he 8, 9, 10, whatever. 5 rebounds. Daryl was tall, bro. Daryl was like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Yeah, out there. Boom. So game over. Game over. What time is it? It's probably, 11 o'clock, whatever the case. Hungry at this point in time. How old were we? We were about 17, maybe 17, 18. This is the summertime. 20. No, we weren't 20. Yeah, about 17, 18, something like that. I'm hungry. Excuse me. So you go home, rest up, whatever. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm gonna get up with you later. Boom. I go in the crib, chill out. Dog hit me again. He hit me at like 7. I think it was like 7 o'clock. Kind of like that. Um, Oh, he like, yeah, let's go grab some shoes. Like, I'm gonna go get some shoes. Oh, all right, cool. I'm like, what you trying to get? He was an Air Force dude. He like Air Force Ones. I'm like, all right, back, cool. We slide out there. We go to the now. Let me know where the OGs at. Who remember? Who remember? Your city, my city. Is that how it went? Shoe City, your city, my city. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The Shoe City around my way, they had it was like what was it? It was like a stage. It was like a stand that you had to walk up into, and then they had like some exclusive joints in the back. Shoe City, bro. Shoe City, bro. I remember that. Shoe City. So we go to the Shoe City. Boom. We in there, we chilling. Nice, look nice. She was nice. She was nice. She was nice. Very nice young lady in there. I'm like, all right, cool. So boom, we ain't we talking, ain't nothing too crazy. I get my shell heads. Mind you, remember shell heads coming to play. I get my shell heads, he get his Air Forces. So we coming out the store, and I never forget. I will never forget. It was like, y'all know how it was towards the sunset. The sun was about to set. Y'all know how when the sun about to set, it's like an orange. It's like an orange, like yellowish orange color, something like that. It was that color outside. So it was like a car might have its headlights on, a car might not. It might not. It might not. Boom. I remember saying the car, but the car was like, it wasn't straight ahead. It wasn't straight ahead. It was like off to the left. It was off to the left. It veered off to the left a little bit. So we talking now. The sidewalk that we were on, it was like kind of extended. It had like beams on it and everything, and then it had more sidewalk, and then it was the curb. So it was a nice little ways to the curb. So I'm not paying the car any attention at all, but I can see it on my peripheral because it's on my side. Like it's on my side, and I can see it. Daryl, right here on the right side. I can see him. We walking and talking. Next thing I know, I remember the car headlights. I remember seeing the car headlights on, and then the car headlights, I saw them reflecting off of the Shoe City window, off of the window. And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I'm like, that car, like, the reflection, I'm like, the car lights, they're a little bit close. And then I was like, froze. I was froze. I was stuck. Meanwhile, the car had jumped the curb. I didn't know, but the car had jumped the curb, and I'm looking at it like, damn, that's weird. That's odd. Now, granted, you got it, like, when people say you can get frozen, stuck in a moment, that is a true thing. That is a true thing, because everything in me told me, like, man, this situation wrong. Like, some move, move. But I couldn't. I was just sitting there looking like, why is this car on top of the curb right now, bro? Boom. So I'm stuck. Next thing I know, I remember, bro, because he was big. He was like 6'4". Yeah, big hand. Like a pup was like, D, come on. And move me out the way. And then the car, by that time, the car, it was all the way up on the curb. It was all the way up on the curb. Now, mind you, like I said, it was a big curb. So it was a lot of space. The car, it literally did like that. It almost bust the whole U-turn because it had to get back off the curb. It got back off the curb, and I was sitting there looking. I was just like, what the I'm like, no. In disbelief. In sheer and utter disbelief. I couldn't believe what just happened. I still like, even to this day, like like now, I'll be honest, now it registered, he saved my life, probably saved my life, help my life. Like, bro, when I tell you that, I remember, last thing I remember was the car lights, and then the car lights was bouncing off of the window of the Shoe City, and I'm like, why are those car lights so close? I thought, man, I didn't know. I didn't know what to think. But yeah, that's just a little story that came to mind. And to end it off, because I got to be honest. This is undefeated, uncut. I got to keep it honest. We got to be 1,000. The young lady that I found attractive, that was in that Shoe City, that helped us that day, she came out the store and she was like, damn, what happened? Because when the car jumped the curb, the front part kind of hit the bumper. I said the front part kind of hit the bumper. It hit one of the beams. It hit like one of the. Now I didn't like swam, whatever. It was an older car. It was probably like a '94 Corolla, which is crazy because that's what we was rolling in. That's what we had. We was rolling in the '90. Y'all remember the '94 Corolla? Well, you had to race and put the windows down real quick and see if you could do it. Y'all remember that? Yeah, bro. They got heater be bumping in there. You bake. You well done in there. AC unit bumping, moving without. Yeah, bro. We was in the 90. It was about a 94 Toyota Corolla. So it was an older car. So by the time it jumped the curb, it was like it was already shaking and wobbling and ready to stop going. But then it kind of like it hit up against the side of the wall of the beam. And then the front, like the bumper kind of start hanging and all of that stuff. Then I remember, I never forget that young lady. She came out of that store. She came out of that store and she said, she looked at him and she looked at me and she said, "Damn, which one of y'all fucked this bitch?" Oh, by the way, before I forget,